Up and Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up and Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Monday and welcome back. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam. I hope you had a great weekend. Today we're turning your kitchen into a playground and your palate into a compass. Lindsay Baruch, the creator behind Lindsay Eats, also known as Lindsay Eats LA. She's followed by well over 1 million folks across Insta, TikTok, YouTube, and her blog, bringing low fuss but flavor-forward magic behind her debut cookbook called Something Delicious. Oftentimes you'll get digital copies of this book, of books when you're going to interview an author. And it's great because you can put the PDF in ChatGPT, you can scan it. So it's almost like you can digest this book a lot quicker than, say, reading the whole thing from cover to cover. But this book came snail mail, and I'm so glad it did. It is gorgeous. The colors, the pictures, even the illustrations. Yeah, the illustrations. But the recipes too. It is really, really something to behold this book. So glad I have it in person. Lindsay's going to show us how to cook with all 5 senses, while a little vinegar and a lot of curiosity can literally change everything in the kitchen, and the confidence reps that turn first-timers into fearless home cooks, and that's what the idea is. So later in the show, the crunchy, creamy eggplant that you'll crave, a 30-minute chicken that's weeknight. It's going to be a weeknight legend. This wedge salad, I don't even give a shit about wedge salads. This one, can't wait. Peppermill splurge that made me go, oh, damn. Yeah, we asked her most expensive, kind of bougie little kitchen tool. Yeah. Plus a deviled egg blow up, also smash burger sauce, little twist that you can kind of put on your smashies. You're going to steal today. You're going to steal today all the suggestions, and hopefully you'll get this book. Lindsay Eats is Up and Adam today. All right, before we get into that, I got this one story which is kind of buzzing around. It's odd, and it has to do with a sentencing that's raising some eyebrows. A local judge gave 51-year-old John Cicone, I don't know if I'm saying that right, at the time a lieutenant with the California Department of Corrections and Rehab, gave him 9 months in county jail. What did he do? Well, he was drunk driving, and he crashed and hit and seriously injured, mind you, a married couple in rural Paso. This is 9 months that he was given for this crime, which he'll likely serve about 4.5. Prosecutors pushed for prison, but Judge Barry LaBarbera went with the county time and probation. District Attorney Dan Dow called it very disappointing, even went on social media to do a special post on this, saying, hey, look, we're trying to prosecute crime over here, but we got judges doing this, doesn't help. Saying someone who wore a badge owed a special duty to protect people. For real, not hurt them, and that this couple easily could have been killed. Thank God they were not. Here's what happened. June 22nd, 2024, this guy crashes his Dodge Ram while drunk. One victim's unconscious. The other tells him, I'm not okay. Instead of staying, calling 911, rendering aid, dude bails, walks home, leaves his truck and the injured people behind. Like what? From home, he calls 911 to claim someone sideswiped him, turning into his driveway on San Marcos Road. That story, well, it doesn't match the evidence. The guy was trying to avoid a DUI by walking home, but leaving these people is just inhumane. So selfish. Oh, my God. But his story doesn't match the evidence, the investigation, or even what the victims are saying. He hangs up, ignores callbacks. CHP finally finds him at the house, runs a DUI investigation. His BAC is 0.08, about 3 hours after the wreck. Both victims suffered very serious injuries and were taken to Sierra Vista. Now, despite a compelling forgiveness statement from one of the victims, the sentence for many landed light. He pled guilty to all charges, DUI causing great bodily injury, fleeing the scene. Outcome, county time though, not even prison. A lieutenant a hit, a flight, a lie, a flimsy story, and now a sentence a lot of folks think doesn't fit the damage done, or him being held to a higher standard. So what a story. I don't know. We'll see and follow how that one progresses. All right, before we get into our chat with the one and only Lindsay Baruch, a.k.a. Lindsay Eats, let me tell you about my friends at Life Elements, practicing wellness alchemy there in Atascadero. Life Elements is where you can walk in, see things being made in real time, smell them. You'll probably just, your sinuses will clear up and you'll be in a good mood just after walking in that spot. Their lotion, their CBD stick, their aluminum-free deodorant, their bug spray. Everything is small batch, cruelty-free, made with real healing in mind. Think arnica, calendula, magnesium, broad spectrum CBD. Oh my God, their bath bombs are nuts. They're so good. It's no wonder why their relief stick, their CBD relief stick is a bestseller across the nation. It's their spot in Atascadero that you got to check out though. 7425 El Camino Real. 7425 El Camino Real, Suite O, back right corner, Life Elements. You can't miss the big sign. And hit them up online. Check out all their stuff right now at your fingertips. LifeElements.com. Use the promo code Adam. Save 15% off. Support local and let your wellness meet its maker. Don't forget, you can also shop their products at the Hive in Arroyo Grande, the General Store downtown Paso, and yes, LifeElements.com. Use that promo code Adam. Save 15%.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, today's guest, a content creator and recipe developer, Lindsay Baruch, the force behind Lindsay Eats. She's got over 1 million followers across the platforms. Her debut cookbook, Something Delicious, 100 Recipes for Everyday Cooking, is a 5 senses guide to intuitive, minimal equipment, but maximum flavor cooking. From LA roots and Jewish, Indian, Iraqi heritage to a career pivot sparked in Thailand. What a path this young lady has. Lindsay teaches you to trust your nose, your fingertips, and more importantly, your gut. Literally. Lindsay, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Thanks for being Up and Adam.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
I'm a big fan of your work. I love your stuff. You know, your book, Lindsay, invites people to literally cook with their nose, their fingertips, their intuition, and not always just the measuring spoon. What is a specific moment you remember when a dish clicked because you followed a sensory clue, not really in the recipe?
Yeah, I think when I am making a recipe, developing, or just cooking, I'm always looking like through every sort of sense and every sort of range. So that is kind of how I like to cook. And when it clicks in that way, I think you're utilizing all of your senses. And I think that is, personal to each person. And I think that's a big, sort of theme of my book is kind of using these recipes as a framework, but you can honestly, expand and add or take out anything that you might want differently too.
Yeah. You grew up in a Jewish, Indian, Iraqi home where flavor wasn't a trend. It was in the air, right? What's what's one inherited rule that maybe from your family that you broke in this book, and what did breaking it unlock for you?
I think in terms of breaking it, I think I maybe went a little with some of the recipes. I kind of added my own little flair, maybe a little bit more tang. I like a vinegar aspect to a lot of my recipes, and I think that is something that is a little different. But yeah, that's my answer.
So I'm so curious. You talk about cooking alongside your aunts and grandma in LA. And those kitchens those are universities, What's a micro lesson, maybe like a little pinch, a sniff, a listen that kind of shows up in your food every single week?
I think a lesson is just to keep trying and keep experimenting and keep allowing myself to fail when I'm developing recipes and just cooking at home and not feeling discouraged if something, doesn't turn out or if something burns. And it doesn't mean that you're not a good cook. It just means you need to, keep trying, keep practicing.
Lindsay, you started in food photography where the plate has to look perfect, right? And then you wrote a book that says chase feel. So when do you choose delicious but ugly over pretty but meh? And how do you kind of teach that choice to us home cooks?
Yeah, I think because I came from a food photography background, when I am developing recipes, I keep that visual aspect in mind. So when I'm cooking, I'm using my senses. I'm, tasting, touching to make sure that progress is, going well. But at the end of the day, I can always make something look good too. But I made it in a way where I'm not adding, silly ingredients for no reason. I was very intentional to make sure that every recipe looks good, but in its best way that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I think all of those together, and especially like my food, photo, and styling background, allowed me to bring that to all of the photography and the way that it's styled, and like the way that the recipes were developed, for sure.
Was there a book? Was there a dish in the book that tastes like a 10, but sometimes photographs like a 6, but maybe you're like, it's too good, I got to leave it in?
Oh, okay. Wait, I'm trying to think if there was one. Maybe the mushroom mascarpone pasta, because it's all kind of one color, but like we had amazing food stylists and photography in a photography team, so they made sure that everything looked really good. But I know when I was testing that recipe, that was the one that I had the hardest time with, because the mascarpone, when it's tossed with the pappardelle, it kind of turns into like a palish color with the brown mushrooms. So I think on my end, when I was recipe developing, finishing it off with that like fresh chopped parsley added that green color. So the picture looks amazing because professionals, did an amazing job. But when I was recipe developing, I think that was one of the ones where I was like, oh, this doesn't look amazing, but it tastes delicious.
I'm looking at it right now. There's so many good. And by the way, I mean, the book, my fiance, when she saw, and thank you for sending me a copy of it. When this sits on the table, it's just like hand magnet, right? You have to look and peer through it. It's such a beautiful book. But in addition to the beautiful photography, I love, the chapters open up with illustrations, and you got beautiful illustrations in here as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we really wanted to go like a sort of retro vintage look. So we worked with, a typographer to do those sort of chapter openers and an illustrator. And so me and the illustrator worked together to kind of think per chapter what the theme is going to be. So for example, like the salad chapter has like a basket of produce, just to like emulate that like chapter theme. And then like for the chicken doesn't have an illustration, but for the fish, there's like a branzino. So we took a recipe from each chapter and kind of used that as the inspiration for the illustration. And I knew when I saw that illustrator that she would be like the most amazing fit for like the kind of style and vibe that the whole like recipes in the book were emulating. And we took like, I had the illustrator on like after the photography. So she pulled from all the colors from the real life photography, all of the textures from the photography to make her illustrations. And I think that like adds a cohesiveness in the book.
First of all, this pan-fried panko crusted eggplant with jammy cherry tomatoes and burrata. This so far is looks like it's got to be the first thing that we put together. Talk about this dish. What inspired it? It looks bomb.
Yeah. Okay. So I really love an eggplant parm. I love, a tray of eggplant parm, but I was like, how do I make this crunchy? How do I make this maybe more seasonal with the cherry tomatoes? And then I was like, okay, let me pan fry the eggplant. Let me top it with like a jammy garlicky tomato and then lots of fresh basil. And it's like super crunchy, but creamy because there's also the cheese. That is definitely one I recommend to try first.
Also, some of these are just really simple. I mean, even just this hot sauce and brown sugar chicken thighs with the snap peas. Yeah. I mean, this is a very doable, something you're going to have done in a matter of minutes at home.
Yeah, that's like a good 30-minute one in the book. And there's a lot of 30-minute ones. I think my main objective is to make something that's simple to, a home cook, but also maybe a home cook that's just starting to cook and doesn't know, too much about like techniques. And then also making it simple, but adding like fun flavor profiles that are accessible, like brown sugar and hot sauce, you have those in your pantry or they're very easily accessible at the market. But maybe you didn't think to put them together in a chicken dish with like crunchy snap peas. So I think that is what I really wanted to bring with all of the recipes, like super simple techniques that are going to teach you, but then also flavor profiles to bring them together to make them super creative and unique. So you're not like having boring meals at home.
What's the difference in storytelling? I'm so fascinated because the vehicle of social media, it's changed so many different things promotionally. I was talking to a stand-up comic recently, right? Like Renee Vaca, and we're just talking about how social media changed even how stand-up comics get seen, noticed, sell out. Food is very similar in the same way where it was a different industry 10, 15, 20 years ago. And with the ability to tell stories to your fans, just between you and them with no middleman with social media, and then this is how you really got your footing. But how is the storytelling different from social media to, say, that old traditional cookbook?
Yeah, I think growing up when I would always I've collected cookbooks, my whole life. So there's nothing like, a tangible hardcover cookbook to cook from in real life. So it's always been like a super duper dream of mine that is here. And I think it is totally different than social media because everything's so fast paced on there, especially as you said, things have just changed so much. It's not the way that it used to be. Apps, there's so many different people posting things. Everything comes and goes so fast. And so to have a hardcover cookbook is like really a timeless thing for people that cook, for sure.
Yeah, that's so cool. What a fun thing to save too for your path, your career. I think you said that your trip to Thailand flipped the switch from documenting food to really making it. What did Thailand rewire in you? Technique, tempo, courage? What was it?
I think everything. I think, first of all, being there with such an open mind, being there for a really long time, not really having too much responsibility. I was like right out of college. I didn't I was still posting online, restaurant photography, but I really wanted to get more into the creative side of things. So I think that is kind of like where that transition came from. And just having like that open space when I went away for so long was like eminent to like that next step for me.
Minimal dishes, minimal equipment. That's really mercy. What's the one tool home cooks overrate? And maybe the under $20 thing that quietly changes everything. What do you think?
Ooh, I think like if you're going to be cooking meats and chickens and fish, you can get a pretty affordable meat thermometer. I think that is 100% like worth every penny. I think you can totally make the guessing game. And in the book, I give both instructions, like how to find that out or how long to keep it in. But I also give the temperature for the cook on a meat thermometer. And I find that this is such an amazing and easy way to make sure that your cook on proteins and fish is like always going to be right. Or even on heating oil, right, for deep frying fried chicken. Like I think a tool like that is going to be the most successsul.
A chef friend of mine locally, Jensen Lorenzen, had this suggestion of this. It was just a spatula that a guy made. It's made here in America. It's just a dude who fashions it with the core. But this spatula runs you about $60. But it's small, it bends, it's firm. It's literally amazing. It's magic. And I cook it with it all the time. Is there a tool? Is there something that you're just like, man, I have to have this near me at all times? It's just so clutch.
Yes, like if we're thinking of something that's like maybe more worth like it's more expensive, that's like worth the money, I would say like one of the tools that I like is my pepper grinder, which is pretty expensive. It's like, no, I'm serious. I love pepper so much. And when you're using like cracked pepper and it like doesn't come out of the pepper mill. Mm-hmm. So this one is $200, which is expensive for a pepper mill.
Lindsay eats good.
No, I know. No. But like I've had this for years and it gives me like the most amazing pepper grind ever. I know it's like so specific, but that is like my more splurge-worthy tool that I personally think is worth it because I put pepper in everything, and you can see that in the book. Like pepper is a very big ingredient.
Is this that Man Kitchen pepper cannon?
Yes, that's the one.
I'm looking at it right now. It's called Man Kitchen. It is the pepper cannon, and it's $200, but it's got 5 stars.
I promise.
That's awesome.
If you like to have like really good pepper grinded, like, and it's actually gonna grind it, and you can adjust like the the way.
Yeah.
Like, do you want it finer? Do you want it thicker? So that is like my more splurge-worthy tool I use. Like I use every time that I cook, like any meal, even if I'm just like ordering takeout and I want pepper. That is.
Now, what are you just going to like? Or are you just putting regular black pepper in it? Do you have like a special kind of black pepper that you like?
I'm not super picky about the pepper, to be honest. It's anything really, yeah.
It just cuts it up and does it just so. That's good. See, that's something that I would consider because my fiance knows I love pepper as well, and she got me one of those like gold, really heavy ones that has like the the spinner on top. It's a beautiful pepper grinder. It's like this brass kind of thing. Yeah, I love it. So your snacks and your apps, they're like invitations. They're like the Persian shallot dip. The Meyer lemon and harissa wings. Which starter is like your social cheat code? One that makes strangers act like friends, brings people in easy.
I think the spice nuts, the curry and honey spice nuts, I think they're a good conversation starter because like it's what I also like about it is you can make it like the day before. So you're not, serving steak crostini at a dinner party for an appetizer and you have to like cook the steak and all that thing. So you can make those nuts the day before if you're entertaining and then you like put them out as like a little snack, maybe like with a cocktail or something like that. And it can be a like fun way for people to converse. And then it's like a curry powder and a honey. So you're going to have like a little bit of that floral heat. And then you're also going to have like the sweetness from the honey and it turns like a super nice yellowy color also.
A wedge salad.
That one's a special.
That sounds like a special one. A wedge salad, Lindsay, is one of those things where you look at it on a plate and you're like, is this your, $18 way to charge me for a 99-cent head of lettuce? Or is this something real? But I tell you, because I have had wedge salads that have blown my mind. This one in the book is another one I cannot wait to make. What is it about a wedge salad that is so welcoming? But what do you really got to dial in to make that wedge salad feel worth it?
I love a wedge salad, but you're so right. Sometimes it can be a little bit sad, but when a wedge salad is done properly, it is like the most refreshing salad ever. And I also think there's something sort of theatrical about it when it like comes to the table and it's like all in like one or two pieces and you can kind of like knife and fork it and it has all of like these fun little crevices. So I think like my number one tip is like making sure that it's not super watery or that like each leaf, like, so in the recipe you can see like there's like you'll add vinegar in between the leaves. So it's not just like a dry lettuce. And so the like dressing gets drizzled over. You can serve some dressing on the side, and it has the crunch. So a wedge salad is my dream for sure.
All right, I want to talk to you about a couple things before we wrap up here, especially keeping fall in mind. I love making deviled eggs. What's a great little hack? What is something you do with deviled eggs that's a little outside the box that you're like, oh, you got to try this, Adam? On
my website, I have a gochujang kimchi deviled egg recipe. Ooh. And that one is a fun, like, it's super tangy and it has the heat and it's perfect. And it also, like, the like, yolk, when you mix it with the gochujang, it becomes sort of like a red orangey. So it's a more unique take on a deviled egg, but I think it's super impressive.
I make these things called sausage rolls, and they're not the most amazing things because it's kind of like it's UK cuisine, and UK is obviously not known for their, like, amazing cuisine, let's be honest. But sausage rolls are really, really good. Have you ever made them? And how could I, punch these up a little bit, pimp my ride on sausage rolls to make them, really, we're just talking about sausage in there and then, the pastry stuff on the outside. What do you think?
Okay. So what kind of, you're using like a ground, like Italian sausage?
Yeah, because it's hard to find English bangers anymore at the store, but normally they made them with English bangers. So some sort of like good, some sort of nice sausage from the butcher I like to put in there.
Okay. And then it's like wrapped in like a puff pastry?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. I would add some Dijon mustard and maybe some cornichons in there, like chopped up cornichons in the meat mixture. That would be really good.
That sounds like a great idea. Now let's talk Thanksgiving.
And then you can like dip it in more mustard.
Yes. Well, what is some Thanksgiving little dishes? What we like to do here is, we do like the turkey and stuff, but we love the side dishes. Is there a Thanksgiving side dish that just has you doing backflips?
In the book, there is a roasted squash with a pomegranate dressing and pomegranate seeds, and so that is like a perfect seasonal dish for Thanksgiving. I'm trying to think what other sides. Oh, there's a carrot. Oh, so for me, we have a big family Thanksgiving, and we always do like a potluck situation. So in the book, for the past last year and the year before, I'll circle through the carrots. It's like a honey roasted carrots with a salsa verde on top. And that one's always like a really big hit for Thanksgiving. Yeah, that one's good.
One spice that you abuse in the best way.
Pepper.
Pepper, yeah. And then
black pepper. Go ahead.
Any finally, any little tips on the smash burger? Do you like making those?
Oh yeah, smash burger is definitely my favorite to make at home. There's one in the book, and it has a like secret sauce, and the secret is pickled jalapenos, and it adds a really tangy, creamy texture to the spread, and that's how I like to make my smash burgers.
Yeah.
What about you?
Just kind of smearing it on the Blackstone. And then I did see this one guy on YouTube who had this one almost like a pimento cheese mix that he made. And he whipped that and just laid it on top, like spooned it on top of the burger. And to me, that was like that. I do that every time now. I love pimento cheese, and it was kind of like his own little take on it. Just some dude from YouTube. And it just turned out killer.
That sounds so good. I'm totally going to try that next time.
Yeah. Oh, when you do that, I can't wait to see. I follow you. Yeah. Little pimento cheese kind of mixture spread on top of right on top of that smash burger. Bomb. Oh my God.
Ooh, do you also put a slice of cheese to like a cheddar or American cheese too, or the pimento cheese is the cheese?
It just needs to be the cheese. Yeah. Cause you know what we did is you put some cheese in the pimento thing. So there was a little cheese in the pimento spread too, with all the other stuff. But what I'll do is I'll send it to you on your Instagram. Is that good?
Yeah, send it.
Yeah, my name is Adam on the air. I'll send it to you on Instagram, and you can try your own take on it. That'd be great to see.
Sure, I'd love to.
Well, I have just loved talking to you. I love following you. It's so cool to see someone who's just like so on fire and ignited by the things that they're creating in the kitchen. You literally make it feel contagious. And my fiance and I were so stoked when this book showed up. So we can't wait to dig in, and we're going to feel closer to you and your culinary talents by doing it. We got links in the show notes. And yeah, you're badass. I'd love to chat with you again, Lindsay.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Some say life's where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right, Lindsay's cookbook, Something Delicious. It is out now. It is a gorgeous book sitting on your table, and even more pretty when you flip through it. Buying options, her recipes, everything is in the show notes. Check her out at Lindsay Eats on Insta. Some of the platforms, Lindsay Eats LA. If you put Lindsay Eats in any of them, she's big time well known. It'll come right up. And if you try that deviled egg remix or that smash burger sauce, tag me, let me know. I'm going to be doing that this weekend for sure. Also, like I said, Lindsay's website, all the stuff, bookstore options, it's all in the show notes. All right, well, October 6th right now? We are in Arttober, baby. October in San Luis Obispo, anything but ordinary. It is Arttober, from live performances to public art, museums, and the always fun piano in the plaza. Creativity is everywhere. Don't miss it. Find your Arttober adventure at slowcity.org/Arttober. Speaking of Arttober, I'm super excited for this week's interview. Coming up later in the week, we're going to talk to Andrew Sewell, who is the conductor, the music director for the Slow Symphony. I'm going to learn how to conduct. I don't know. I have a feeling I might be good at it. So we're going to learn that and a lot more when we have Andrew from the Slow Symphony on. That's later in the week. True Crime Tuesday tomorrow. And we got a good week in front of us. We certainly do. Thanks to Moonshiner Collective for original music on the show called Start Again. Stream them wherever you get your music. Of course, learn more at moonshinercollective.com. Brand new episode of Where Wine Takes You, my podcast with Paso Wine. Chatting with our friends at the Fortress. You've driven on Highway 46 West, seen that castle. I'm not even going to say the name of the old spot because it's got a brand new name and it's got a new identity. We need to focus on that. The Fortress. But what's also pretty cool about the Fortress is the sister organization, company, whatever you want to call it, operation next to it that'll be facilitating the hospitality aspect of this beautiful first castle on the right. And that is the Anderson. Going to be an event space, a restaurant down the line, a tasting room, lots going on. So the Fortress and the Anderson, we have Jeremy Leffert, who's the director of winemaking there, Cereals winemaker Jeff Kandarian also in the episode, as well as Azure Schultz, who is with the Anderson. So fun chat. It is the brand new episode of Where Wine Takes You, my podcast with Paso Wine. It is available wherever you are hearing this. You can hear that, and it is out now. Also, thanks to our friends at Tamber Winery. Taste their wines in the village of Arroyo Grande. Timbre, Tamber Winery, and I thank them jubilantly and enthusiastically for giving us the Tamber Low Bro Studios. And thank you for rating, reviewing, subscribing to the podcast, having a listen wherever you do, however you do it, your pattern, the fact that I'm a part of it and this show's a part of it, it means so much. Please tell a friend and share the community with others. Really, really appreciate you for that. It means a lot. Until tomorrow, hope you have a great beginning to your week, a great day, a great Monday. I'm Adam Montiel. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start